everyone, this is Catherine Korstoff from Research Rockstar. Welcome to another conversation for Research Rockstars. And today I want to talk about a really important topic. I want to talk about one of the biggest challenges that we have as professional researchers. So if you take a minute and think about it, what do you think the number one problem is for most people who do market research and customer insights work? Unfortunately, one of the big problems we have is that our research results can be ignored. That is, people aren't paying attention to our research. You spend 2 weeks, 2 months, 6 months working on this amazing piece of research. You deliver this fantastic report, you make a great presentation, and then nothing happens. The results get ignored. So we spend a lot of time in market research talking about how we can try to overcome this issue, right? What are the things that we can do? Because we certainly lament about the issue quite a bit. You don't have to go too far if you read just about any article about market research and customer insights these days, or different studies that have been done about challenges for our industry. Getting people to use the research or getting a, quote, seat at the table always comes to the top. So typically what I find is that when organizations are having a hard time using research, it's usually because of a few problems that can be solved. So there's some true solutions here. So one of the solutions is having the research be written and presented in a way that speaks the client's language. Now, we might be accustomed to our own jargon, but unfortunately other people are not. So there's some really specific tips for how to make sure that you are speaking your client's language and you're not speaking at them using market research jargon. Another thing that can be really important is making sure that the research is perceived as credible. And one of the challenges we have with market research is that very often when we're delivering results, we're delivering the results from a single study. Now, let's take an example. One of my favorite examples is using the FDA as an example. When the FDA is getting ready to approve a new pharmaceutical product for human use, they don't just do one study, right? They do 6, 7, sometimes 8 or more studies, and that builds up credibility. Well, for us, we also need multiple data points. If all of the results are coming from a single study, and we're asking our client to really use these research results, that can be hard, especially if your research results are about anything that is in any way controversial or contrary to what that organization, what that client believes is true about their customer base, right? So we have a tendency to over-rely on a single study at a time. So that's another one of our challenges. And frankly, a third challenge that we often run into is making it easy for people to apply research, making it really step-by-step easy for people to take a research result and figure out how to apply it to business. How is this going to help this organization save money? How is it going to help this organization make money, right? Those are the things that ultimately they care about. So these are actually 3 fairly big topics. So today I'm just going to focus on the first one, and I'm going to give you one of the tactics that we teach in Research Rockstar courses and our writing courses to help researchers have a very practical way of speaking the client's language. So when we're getting ready to deliver our research results, one of the things that can be really helpful is to think in terms of categories. And one way is to do a functional area analysis. So if you're doing a study, maybe a customer satisfaction study or a market segmentation study, whatever type of study you're working on, you can really think about the results as being categorized for different ultimate users of your research. So if we take the example of, say, market segmentation, when we do a market segmentation study, at a certain level, there are certain universal results. That is, the highest level results from this study that are really going to be of interest to anybody at the client organization. And if you work internal to a organization, so whatever the executives at your company are going to be most interested in. So there are always some universal results, right, for any market research study. But then maybe you take a closer look at those market segmentation results and you put a different lens on them for the different functional areas that need to be able to use those results. So in some cases, you can divide up your research results by functional area, by the divisions within the ultimate organization. So if you're doing market segmentation study for say a company, an automobile company, they're going to have a sales department that's going to have some interest in that market segmentation results. They're going to have a manufacturing department that could have interest in those results. the marketing department, of course, and maybe a customer support department as well. Right, so depending on the organization, they'll have different functional areas, but those are some of the really, really common ones. So the idea is if you can take those market segmentation results and basically have sections of your report, very brief, hard-hitting sections of your report that speak to these different functional areas, that's going to help you to speak the language of your client. Get a step away from talking about market research and a step closer to what the actual people who are going to use those research results need to hear. So let's actually go through a simple example. So we're going to pretend that you are now the director of customer insights for a brand new company, Go Run Sneakers. This hypothetical brand of sneakers is a startup, and they've got some money and they're coming out strong. And of course, they wanted to, before they entered the market, really do some awesome customer research to find out what people's needs are for running shoes. So they did a study. You did a study, of course, because again, congratulations, you are now the director of customer insights for Go Run Sneakers. You did a study to understand customer needs for running shoes. Well, your report certainly is going to have some universal results, right? There are going to be some high-level findings that are going to be your aha findings that anybody in your company at Go Run is going to want to hear, right? The things that really speak to their highest level opportunities and challenges. And I'm using those words in a very purposeful way. Rather than talk in market research language, as much as you can cast the universal results in terms of opportunities and challenges is going to be a more friendly language for your reader, for the other non-market research executives at Go Run Sneakers. And in fact, in your universal results, there's one of the great things that we often teach people in our report writing courses is to do a SWOT analysis. And a strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats analysis is a really awesome type of analysis to do on just about any topic you might be doing in market research. And the reason why is because your business colleagues, your colleagues who don't know market research, but they know business, they probably went to business school, they probably took some business classes, they know what a SWOT analysis is. So it's a comfortable way for them to digest the opportunities and challenges that you are highlighting for them in your universal results. So don't force them to speak your language. If they went to business school, they know all about SWOT analysis. When they see you cast your universal results in the framework of a SWOT analysis, it's going to resonate with them. It's going to be more comfortable with them. And that's awesome. It's a really simple thing that we can do to speak their language. Then when we get down to the specific functional areas, why not have a couple of pages in the report specifically for the sales department and a couple of pages specifically for the manufacturing division and so on? Let's speak to those people in terms of what they care about. So in the sales department, what do they care about? They care about reasons to buy. What are the things that are going to help me sell more? What are the things that could block me from selling more? Try to avoid the jargon of demand drivers and deterrents, right? We in market research use those phrases a lot, but the people who are running sales departments, they want to get to what are the reasons people are going to buy, right? They really want to understand that from a very human point of view. So anything we can do to focus on what the sales department is interested in and using the language that they actually use is going to help them adopt your research results. They'll be more likely to use the research results if you're speaking to them in their language. How about the manufacturing results? Well, in our hypothetical study, maybe we discovered some things that relate to their expectations for product durability or personalization. Well, they might not be concerned in the manufacturing department about some of those other results. Let's let them focus on those results that are most relevant to them. And again, try to speak the language of manufacturing and not speak the language of market research. And of course, the marketing department, a very common client for those of us in market research. So we know their language. We can do a better job of speaking the language of marketing without speaking the language of market research. Again, in marketing, they're concerned about very specific things. What is it in these research results that speak to opportunities for messaging? What is something that helps us understand our value proposition, right? That's a really key phrase for people who are marketing professionals? What is our value proposition? How do these research results identify opportunities for really great advertisements? Is there something in the research results that speak to an opportunity for emotional or aspirational connection, right? A lot of marketing professionals these days are very concerned about how do we connect with our customers on a very emotional level, because marketers and of course market researchers these days are well aware of the fact that consumers do not buy products based entirely on rational decisions, right? We know that there's a lot of things that are more emotional that help them to make their product choices. So I won't go through every single one of these blocks in my little hypothetical organizational chart here, but hopefully that did a good job of pointing out that we can help ourselves speak our client's language by breaking it into categories, right? Because very often you actually have multiple clients within your organization, right? There are multiple different departments that could be leveraging your market research. So why not write our research reports in a way that makes it easy for those different functional areas to get what they want? And it will resonate more for them. If we can really make sure that we've got stuff that's specific for sales and speak in terms of sales language, that content that's specifically going to resonate with manufacturing and speak to their language and priorities and so on, it's really going to increase the chance that people will use your research results. And again, up in the universal section, absolutely, there's always going to be universal results that everybody should read. It, of course, has to be very brief. And anything we can do to make it easy, such as using a SWOT analysis, is absolutely going to increase the chance that they will read and trust your research results. So I hope that that conversation was a useful one for you folks today. Again, this is some of the stuff we teach in our report writing courses because it's really important to be able to overcome this issue, right? We all want to make sure that people actually use our research results. And again, there are a few different strategies we can use. We want to make sure we speak the client's language. And next week, we'll talk about using multiple data points. And then the week after, in part 3, I'll tackle making it simple to apply the research results. If you want to connect, if you have questions or comments or feedback of any kind, please do contact